Now let's talk about money. Let's talk about what is cheap in France compared with other countries. But obviously, I can only compare with Australia. So I think that would be a starting point for you. So I'm going to take a few items and I'm just going to give you my opinion on the price compared with us two. So I have a list. I'm going to go through the list. First, food, food, restaurant, and the likes. It's definitely, in my view, cheaper in France. There's a lot of competition in Australia. We only have more or less two or three, grocery shops competing. But there's a lot of local products. So depending on where you are, and there are some things that are very cheap. There's a lot of home brands that are good quality as well. The exception might be the meat. Obviously, coming from Australia, where the meat is relatively cheap, the lamb and the likes. So that might be the exception. And restaurants, you can have restaurants that are very cheap. They have the set menus for free. The entree, the main, and the dessert, and that can be for 12, 14 euros. So it's extremely good value. And the wine, the wine in those restaurants. I mean, unless you're really fussy, it's like ridiculous. I think it's 2 or 3 euros, which is $5 Australian for, or $2 or 3 US for a glass of wine in restaurant, and it's it's actually quite good. And obviously, they also give you the bread, which is free in France. Then transport. So transport. The cars are more expensive than in Australia, which is interesting because there is Renault, there is Peugeot, but they're more expensive. And when I was in Australia, I've heard that for 10 years the prices of cars didn't increase. So that means actually they were getting cheaper. So that's quite incredible. So the cars are a bit more expensive, and the petrol also is not twice, but almost twice the price as it is in Australia. So I bought myself a hybrid that you can plug in. So when you stay local, it's actually quite good. So that's something that is also quite expensive. Now, flights. Plane, I think it's incredibly cheap compared with Australia, but we have to bear in mind it's for short trips. But there's a lot of people. I mean, my sister lives on the other side of France, and she just goes there for I think 30 euros, 40 euros sometimes. It's just ridiculous. There's no point even bothering taking the train. It's very cheap, but I did some first investigation because I want to travel through Europe for some cities. And obviously, I was looking going to Oslo, for instance. I'm in south of France, from Bordeaux to Oslo, and it's around 200 euros. So I didn't find that cheap, but when you look on the map, Oslo is actually quite far. But if you're patient, you can find some good deals. Also for train, I suppose train, it depends. I mean, you can go to Paris from Bordeaux, Paris, very fast for very cheaply. But then when you look at the local train here to go to Bordeaux, it's quite expensive. So food for thought to be confirmed. So in other words, I think for public transport, for transporting group, I should say, it seems to be cheaper here. But for you buying your car, insurance, and also petrol, then it's more expensive. So what is the next section? The next section is actually health. So I think the French complain because there's a lot of taxes that go towards social services. But the social services, as help there is for the elderly, for everyone. My father, when he was getting old, he had someone was traveling to his place every night, and the likes. It's just crazy, and it is very very well done. So people complain sometimes there's a lot of forms to fill in, but at the end of the day, if you get something back, and you don't want everyone to be using it, so I think it's a good way, supposed to make sure that the people that are using the system are actually really in need. But just to give you an example, I had some scans done in my teeth before going to France. Probably a big mistake. I went to see a specialist over there, and then he told me to go and have a chat with my dentist, and and it just to discuss, just to talk, it cost me 80 euros in Australia. Nothing back from the Medicare and the likes. I did exactly the same thing here. Talked to a specialist, and he was very patient, very good, and it cost me 23 euros, and so which is almost the quarter. And I could have had almost a zero. I think I could have had zero, but I'm not yet under the French Medicare. So I think this is something that, for me, it's a big win. The health system here. Obviously, I need to change some teeth, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to keep comparing, but I had the feeling that for dentists, GPs, and the likes, that they have what they call the 100% health. So they pay you back everything for things that are really basics. If you want to have some crown done on your teeth, I don't want to talk about teeth all the time, but that's something I've been going through. So I can give you updates on other stuff. That's something that they can give you for free, more or less. Of course, you need to have a health insurance, and the health plus the government together, they give you this for free. They reimburse you for everything. Now, for glasses to be confirmed, haven't tried this one yet. So it's never easy to compare. So this is the first take on what is cheap, what is not cheap. Obviously, pastries also, I forgot to mention, very cheap here. The price of a croissant is like 1.10 euros, and in Australia they think that it's a delicacy, so it's much more expensive, obviously. And that's it. So this is just the first starting point.